Hello, everyone. Oh my goodness. How is everyone doing? I got my lights on. Hey. Oh my goodness. So good to see everyone. Welcome in, everybody. Hello. Let me turn this music down a little bit. How are y'all doing? I hope y'all hear how's the sound? Let's do a sound check. Let's see how the sound check is going. Hello, everybody. My house sponsor in the chat. Penny, hey, I'm gonna have to watch on replay. My older baby is due home any minute now. Oh, I pray it's a wonderful time. I do. Love that. Hub sponsor in the chat. Hello. Jamie, hi. Lindsay, hey girl, hey. Thank you, festive, right? We have the lights now. I'm probably gonna have to take them off because the lights will probably just drive me up a wall every time. Listen, Lindsay, you inspire me because you be coming in with the Christmas spirit for real, girl. You be coming in with the full spirit. Hey Tammy, how you doing? Jamie, hi. Can't hang out tonight. My brother's in town. Merry Christmas. Oh, pray you have a wonderful time. Laura's in the chat. Listen, Texas is deep in the chat tonight. Tell me where you hail from, because I feel like Texas is real deep in the chat tonight. I mean, VA on the map still. I mean, I'll rep VA. Great. I am so glad everyone is here. Thank you so much for being here. I tell you what, before I even get going, let me pray. Oh, Father God, I just thank you for this time of fellowship, Lord. I thank you for all of my sisters near and far, those who are going to be watching on playback, oh God, those new who are coming, God, we just lift up your name. Be glorified in this space. Thank you for this freedom. Thank you for for giving us just your grace upon us this year, oh God. Bless this live and all those are there. Let your spirit roam. Let us be free in the joy of the Lord. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. Hey, Louisiana. Hey, Texas in the chat. Texas is in the chat. Texas is in the chat. Yes. One of my many T-High guys. Love that. So yes, so tonight we got a full, don't mind me. I gotta move this keyboard out the way because I got my mic here and I'm trying to get my stuff straight, but we going on in faith. But yeah, I am just so glad to be here with you guys as well. And we are just going to have a wonderful time. Let's just come on in, get cozy. I got my Christmas tea here. Okay. We just gonna see where the evening takes us. The main event tonight is they're tier ranking all of the books, so we ain't gonna tarry long. But I want to give everybody some time to come in and say hello as well. Hi, girl. Listen, I knew Texas was in the chat. Man, y'all in the chat tonight. So first off. Okay. I have at least one hop sponsor in the chat. Emily, I have one hop sponsor in the chat. I cannot go any further without talking about hop. Okay. I mean, what fitting way to end the year, right? Because I said I wasn't going to be going into 2025 with Robin Hobb. Like that was just not going to be an option for me. Not at all. And let me tell you, like I finished it last night. Okay. I finished it last night. Assassin's Fate, book 16, the final book in the realm of the Elderlings. The Elderlings is a expansive high fantasy series penned by Robin Hobb. And dare I say, the best fantasy series I have ever read. Like, I don't know if you're watching in the past, you can comment down below, but to read all 16 books as they were coming out, like how epic is that? Like, I don't know of anybody writing a 16-book series anymore these days. You know what I mean? Like, just the fact that she accomplished this feat and that she had this expansive story in her, like in her mind and her creativity. Like, are you kidding me? Like, aside from Left Behind, which is one in my opinion, my humble opinion, one of the greatest, Left Behind is one of the greatest Christian fiction series of all time, in my opinion. I highly recommend it. Okay. Aside from that, this stands up there with that. Like, if I'm looking for mainstream like, you know what I mean? Like, this series was just so impactful for me. And I'm not going to cry talking about it, but I might cry. Like, can we just look at the annotations on this? Like, at this stage in the game, y'all, you know, so 16 books. I mean, when I started this series in 2021, I was curious about it because I was starting to get back into reading. I had just got out of grad school and I was just like, you know what? Let me just see what's out there, you know, and I loved fantasy. I wanted to see what was new. So of course, Brandon Sanderson came up. Patrick Ruffus came up. Name of the Wind. Let me move. That was a couple years ago. We don't even talk about Name of the Wind. We don't need to talk about it. But put it in the chat if you want me to talk about it. I'll talk about it. I can remember if that's something you want me to talk about, I can talk about it. But yeah, so I started this in 2021, this series, and I finished it last night. And when I tell you I sobbed from just the story of itself, like telling this epic, beautiful tale of love lost, of character, of found family, of love that goes beyond this physicality. Like, it goes beyond, it's like, it honestly, and this might be controversial, okay, but you know, as believers in Jesus, like, I can't help but to see Christ in everything. Like, that's my worldview, right? That's just my worldview, and I'm standing 10 toes down on it. Okay, can I get an amen in the chat? But the love that transcends like our flesh, like the love of Christ, that you would like lay your life down for a friend, like it is that kind of love that's in this series that transcends that. There's just so much explored, and I feel like this is how you end a series. She knocked it out of the park. I really thought I was going to be strong all the way to the end. Like, I thought, okay, I might tear up a little bit, but when I tell you I sobbed the last 20 pages, I mean, I'll have the vlog coming out at some point next year. You'll see the footage. I was in the chat tearing up. Okay. I was sobbing. Well, I think I posted some picture of my first cry session because I mean, it was just the story of itself, but just the journey, like 3.5 years it took me to read this. Some people have read it in a short amount of time, but I'm of the opinion to just take your time with it, to like ease into it. You know, it's not for everybody. It's definitely emotionally hitting. I think listening to the audiobook and reading it in tandem is physically reading it in tandem is a recommended way, especially if fantasy is not your preferred genre. This is definitely high fantasy, slice of life kind of things. Very, very character driven. If you are a character driven reader, you're really going to enjoy this, you know, and just don't go in with any expectations to see how it really feels for you. It's not, I will say, I can't recommend it to everybody, but I'm going to tell everybody about Hob, okay? I'm going to tell everybody about Hob. Like, I'm just so, I mean, like, there's so many moments in this story, especially with Fitz and with I mean, there was just no other way to end it. And I think now that I'm talking about it, I think when I do my vlog, I think I'm going to talk spoilers. And I think I can do that. I'm going to have to do that because I can't talk about the end of the series without spoilers. But just for some reference, I really, really love the new character. I'll just say, I don't want to say who it is. Emily, should I say who it is? But again, this is just amazing. And you know, oh man, let me see if I can find a quote here for you guys. It's just so many beautiful moments that, I mean, and Hob, she did not really, oh, man, where do you even start with this? I'm not even prepared. Honestly, y'all, it's too soon. It's too soon for me to give you a quote because then I'll be crying and then the live will be ruined because I'll be in here crying and talking Hob the entire time. But I definitely plan on, as I'm processing it, obviously it's 5 stars. Like, what are we talking about? Of course it's going to be 5 stars. Oh, Emily said, don't say it. Okay. I do have the chat over here in case I'm going to catch up in the chat. So I'm keeping my eye on the chat a little bit. But yeah, so I'm glad I didn't say it. I'm glad I didn't say it. I'm glad I didn't say it. I'm glad. This is why you need your Hob sponsor, okay? They keep you in line, okay? They keep you in line till you get across the finish line. I definitely know that I will be rereading this series again and again. It's just like one of those series. It feels like coming home. I mean, 16 books. And when I look at other people's reviews and they've made it this far, there have been some who are like, you know, it was good. You know, again, it's not for everybody, but if you're a character-driven reader, and, you know, I've been with little Fitz since he was a 6-year-old boy. And he went out his whole arc, even the new characters, it just ended with so much hope. This series caused me to be incredibly introspective and think about the love of Jesus, to think about found family, to think about my life. I relate so much to Fitz and the things and like how he has had to overcome his resiliency, him being dumb all the time. For the most part, his decisions be really crazy. He don't hardly ever know nothing most of the time. He gets himself into situations he can't get out of. He assumes so much on himself that isn't for him. Like you see, this story is very reflective, okay? And I could go on and on all night, but we got some other stuff to do tonight, okay? Specifically, tier ranking all the books I read this year. But I would be remiss if I didn't talk about it. Okay, I didn't talk about it. I would be remiss if I didn't talk about it. So, Assassin's Fate, Robin Hobb, it's official. I finished it in 2024. The year of liberty. That was the word the Lord gave me this year, was liberty. And I tell you what, I feel so liberated, so empowered, so encouraged, right? Like there will be, unfortunately, all the books that I read after this, it's going to be very, very hard to get to a Hobb level. Like I'm just saying, like it just changes how you see writing. I mean, now that I see curse words on pages now in books, I'm like, yeah, I'm feeling away because I'm like, why do you need to write that word after reading Robin Hobb? Like, she doesn't have strong language. I mean, she has some serious traumatic things that she does. She puts her characters through the fire. She puts them through the fire, through the storm, in the middle of the furnace. She puts them in there. But again, let me fall back. I've been talking about Hobb for about 15 minutes now. Welcome into the chat. Welcome to the end of the year live, everybody. Welcome in. Let's catch up. Let's catch up. Emily, I'm here for this. Girl, thank you for being here. Like, for real. Like, I call my Hobb sponsors. And I can be your Hobb sponsor too. If you want to start on the journey, Emily is fantastic as well. We have Penny. She came in the chat and said hello. Derry as well is fantastic. There are so many people in the bookish community who have finished Hobb, and I could be your sponsor for you, Padawan. I'll walk you through it because you're going to need some help. It's going to be tough to get through it by yourself. It's exciting, but at some point you're like, you know what? I need some emotional assistance. You do. And she has signed a contract for another book on that part right there. So maybe my timing of finishing The Realm of the Elderlings right now is right on time. Could we get a Hobb book in 2025? My goodness, Lord, will you do it? Left Behind, girl. Name of the Wind. Listen, I'll link that live stream in the chat when I come back to the comments and everything, because that jump was wild. I had a lot to say about Name of the Wind. It's very controversial. I'm standing on top of the controversial hill with that one, by myself, because a lot of people really liked it. Hi, how are you? Welcome in. Emily says, there was a moment in Kelsinger that was very, girl, that made me tear up. Oh, so many moments. 10 toes down, Christ and everything. Come on, somebody. Lindsay coming in. Girl, you're going to make me get my organ out. Dun, 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 dun. Let me stop. Let me move. Okay. Hey, Steph. How you doing, girl? She said, don't say it. I didn't say it. Emily says, as soon as there was a dart hit, Emily, you can't do this to me right now. I knew where she was taking the story, and I almost threw the book across the room more than once. I wanted to throw the book. I was thinking, I had hope to the very end. I don't feel like my hope was dashed, but I had hope to the very end. Let me move because I'm going to start tearing up. Hey, Reed, welcome in. I love your avatar pic, girl. Yes, I love it. And then when we got to the end, it was the right thing to do, and it ended as it should have ended, and that is genius, because it's not how I wanted it to end, but it's the only way it could. Exactly. And like, I have so many thoughts about that. I'm definitely going to unpack that when I film my vlog and like my end thoughts and my spoiler thoughts, because I have so much to share about that. But Emily, like, hit me on IG or something. We could talk about it. No one is safe with Hobb. She and George R. R. Martin are good friends and are similar that way. I agree. Like, I read his series. I can't think of the name of his series now. I'm sorry, y'all. But I read George R. R. Martin in 2014. I find it was very, very good, very well executed, a different kind of story. Also, I was not as emotionally invested in his story, but it was just a different kind of story. It's so well written, so beautifully, so epic, tragic, grimmy dark. He actually takes death to a whole nother level. Nobody is safe, but also in Hobb, nobody is safe either. In Hobb, I've heard people say that Hobb is kind of like, she doesn't really go there with the dark. No, she goes there very much so. I guess I'll be reading Hobb in 20. Listen, okay. I'll be a house. I'm praying about this, and y'all, let's be in prayer and see what the Lord is saying. But I really want to find a way where we can kind of engage more in a deeper community. Maybe I can do a lot more. I plan on doing more live streams and reading sprints in 2025. So it's going to be a whole lot going on. I'm not even a fantasy girly, but you made me want to read Hobb. Girl, I know. But step into it, watch the videos, make sure it's what you, because I don't want you to be disappointed. It's very character driven, but man, I can't help but to testify of it. I have the Farseer trilogy on TBR. Is Assassin's Apprentice where I need to start? Yes. Assassin's Apprentice is where you would start reading Hob. There are different opinions about starting at different points in the realm of the Elderlings, but Assassin's Apprentice is where you want to start. You meet Fitz. It's first person. You're in his head from the age of 6 years old in the Six Duchies, and him learning to be an assassin. So yeah. D loves books. Hello. I would like to start the Hob series. Need help? Yes. I will definitely link in the video description my Realm of the Elderlings playlist. I have kind of my spoiler-free thoughts on it. But there's so many other people. Fantasy Network, he's great. He's actually influenced me to get into reading Hob. Derry is fantastic. Emily is fantastic as well. Emily Reed, she's here in the chat. So many have really enjoyed it. But you definitely, if you want to, I definitely recommend the audiobook to start with. And Assassin's Apprentice is where you would start. Yes, exactly. Hob was my first foray into adult. Wow. Yeah. How was it my first? But I had not read anything like this before. So it's just absolutely fantastic. So yes. So guys, thank you so much for being here, for listening to the Hob dissertation. Okay. I know the tier ranking is coming, but since I'm on break, let's do a quick haul. Is everybody okay with that? Okay. I know if you've been catching up, okay. I know you've been catching up. I am on a book buying ban, but the caveat is I didn't spend any money, child. I did not spend one dime. I didn't. Okay, I didn't get a bunch of books, but I said, you know what? I was talking to Beth, and I was like, "Ooh, girl, I'm gonna show you the books," and I was like, man, but I gotta put them away. They're gonna be right here. Let me just share with everybody. You know what I'm saying? Let's all enjoy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you can spend your Christmas money on something, spend it on some books, I reckon. But I ain't spend no money. I had store credit. So the book buying ban rules are, if you had not heard what my rules are via Holy Spirit, he said no, and my budget, let's just keep it real too. No pre-orders out in the month that you're in. So if I'm in December. If a book comes out in December, honey, you can't pre-order that book. You got to pre-order anything January on. Okay, you can pre-order that book. That's fine. That doesn't count. Store credit doesn't count either. Anything outside of those things or if when I go on Christmas break, vacation, sure, you see something, that's an exception to a rule, okay? But how often am I going somewhere on vacation? Girl, not nowhere, okay? I am going to get ready to go on holiday in a couple days. So but I have to be very intentional about that. I can't just, I want to get the book, because there's and so, temperance, right? Fruit of the Spirit, temperance. And so that's what I am endeavoring to do. So I ain't spending no money. I had a lot of store credit. Okay. I was in there, I went to 3 locations. And I was like, I'm going to trade these books in because y'all going to take these books. And they did. Now, some of them, they were like, no, ma'am, we're not taking those. You can take those back. So I was like, okay, I'll just donate them somewhere else. But yeah, so let's get into it. Let me catch up in the chat. Thank you all for being here. Thank you so much for being here. This has just been great. This has been great so far. Jimmy is great. Yeah, his videos are great. And he has the live talks, and I was watching them last night. I'm still so unwell. Truth be told, I am so unwell. My promise. My bad. See, I was like, then I forgot. I was like, oh, let me just share with everybody. Bethany, trust in my hand and my heart. But hey, I told you first. Laura, free haul is the best haul. Come on, somebody. Tammy says, Mike over at Mike's Book Reviews and Alan over at Library of Alexandria are great fantasy booktubers. Yeah, they absolutely are. I am subscribed to them. I haven't watched their channels in a while because, they read a lot more secular fantasy. And so I'm trying to, kind of get back into my Christian fantasy, but they have been really, really great resources. So let's get into this haul. starting off top, we're gonna do some. I kind of got them organized. It's not a lot of books, y'all. By the children's middle grade. So right now I have like a children's. Do y'all remember? I'm sorry. I loved little Chrissy saw this and she was like, I must get it. It literally was one of my favorite books when I was a little girl, and I love Babars. This is just absolutely adorable. Absolutely adorable. And I don't even care. I mean, do you remember? Did anybody read this? Come on. I loved him, this little elephant. I'm telling you, it was just little Chrissy. She just had to have it. So of course, little Chrissy, she won all the books, honey. Okay. She wants them all. Now, some of them, I think it was Old Yeller, I saw on the shelf, and she was like, absolutely not. You better not pick up no old. That traumatized me a little bit. I don't know about you, but Old Yeller, that traumatized me. And Red Firm. Those books took me through the fire. I don't think I could read them again. For whatever reason, I might need to unpack that in therapy. So yeah. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. And another one, Tuck Everlasting. This is such a classic. I read this book over and over again when I was a kid. And it's very interesting because, when I was younger, a lot of those, like how I learned, the Lord healed me from dyslexia. I had a very, very serious case. I still contend with some of the things, but, praise God for healing. But when I was younger, learning was very, very difficult for me. And comprehension and all those things. But I love to read. And I read man, I don't even remember, but those memories kind of were suppressed a bit. So because I love to read, but learning was very difficult, right? So I think I suppressed a lot of the books that I read. But now God is, praise God for his grace, for his healing, for his redemptive power, for him, excavating those stones in my heart, and deliverance. And so, as the Lord is doing that work in you, he's going to complete it, sister. Okay. He's going to complete it. He's got you in a process. He's healing you. It's so uncomfortable. It's so painful sometimes when he's pruning and chopping you up. But there's these moments that pop through when you realize, oh my goodness, Lord, you have done a work. And when I saw this book, I was like, oh my gosh, I remember. It was like, I just remembered. I would read this book over and over and over and over again. Like, I love Tuck Everlasting. I loved it so much. Yeah. And some newer ones. The Last Map Maker. I feel like, Lindsay, did you read this? Let me know. I feel like somebody in the chat has read this already. Or maybe I heard about it from Krista. But let me know if you've read this, The Last Map Maker. It sounds very, very interesting, very much so like a coming of age. And I think I might be reading this spring. Twisty, entertaining tale of discovery. So apparently it's about Sia, and I think that's how you pronounce her name. But it's about a young lady, and her father is a con man. But she sees an opportunity to join his expedition on the southern seas. And she thinks it's a great time to leave her secret behind. And so she's trying to cover it up, honey. But we all know the truth comes out, right? But she finds out that she's headed for a magical land that's full of dragons. I'm out. That's all I need to know. When I read that, I realized, oh, I'm in. I'm in. Let's catch up in the chat. Yes, girl, do it here. This is fun. Aw, thank you. Oh, we loved it. Right? Oh, look, we loved it. Absolutely. Yeah. Old Yeller, 1,000% traumatizing. 1,000%. Wolf Hollow by Lauren Walk. So this is about Annabella. She lived a mostly quiet, steady life in her small Pennsylvania town until the new student walks into class. Betty quickly reveals herself to be cruel and manipulative, and though her bullying seems isolated, it escalates. And Toby is a reclusive World War I veteran, soon becomes a target of Betty's attacks. Annabelle only knows kindness, and in this, small community, I guess they're trying to navigate that. This is a Newbery. So I know that this probably is really, really good. I actually had a copy and I gave it to one of my friends' daughters. And so I was so glad to get another copy. Love that. And this surprised me. Premeditated Myrtle. This has been on my TBR for so long, on my wish list, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I have so glad to catch this. Myrtle Hardcastle, come on. I love it. Looks a little kitty cat on the back. Oh my gosh. And so this is about 12-year-old Myrtle Hardcastle, has a passion for justice, armed with her father's law books and her mom's microscope. Myrtle studies toxicology, keeps abreast of the latest developments in crime scene analysis, and observes her neighbors in a quiet village. When her next door neighbor, a spinster, dies under mysterious circumstances, Myrtle is sure she was murdered. So she goes on an adventure to try to figure out who did it, honey. And look, we love a little nosy child. Let me stop. Let me move. But all these middle grade finds are just great. So now we're going to get into some YA books as well. We catch up in the chat. Lauren says, I also think the illustration work and Babar books is so top tier. I miss where books were drawn. Yes, the illustration is just so beautiful. It's so nostalgic, and you can tell so much love and time and creativity went into the story itself, but also how it's illustrated. They just don't do it like that no more. And Where the Fern Grows, I can't read them again. Yes, Where the Fern Grows. That's it. That book, I can't read them ever. Like that, I'm done. Tuck Everlasting. We should buddy read it. We should buddy read it together. Amen. Praise the Lord. Restoration. Okay, so Krista read it. Okay. Cool. Jamie says, yes, books where animals die are absolutely traumatizing. It is. Any kind of cruelty like that, it's really hard to take. I've got so many great middle grade finds. I want to read all of those too. Yes, love that. So now for some YA ones, I have The Keeper by David Baldacci. I think that's how you pronounce his name. This is book 2 in this series. And my friend at the bookstore was telling me about this book. It put her in an utter chokehold. And for so long, I was trying to find it in his adult books, but evidently it's like a YA. And it seems to be like a YA fantasy. This is book 2. So I have book 2, I have book 3. So I need to find book 1. And I really thought that this was book 1. But I was mistaken when I was looking at it today. I was like, oh my gosh, this is book 2. I can't even read the back of it. So book 1, I don't even know, but it seems like it's a girl who's on a journey into a fantastical world. She's got to save the day. That's what I think is about. But yeah, so The Keeper sounds very interesting. And then I was able to find 1,000 Pieces of You by Claudia Gray. I've had my eye on this series for so long. I picked up book 3 earlier this summer, again as a used book. Your girl ain't pay no pennies for it. So this is book 1, and so I'm super excited to read it. I just noticed that I can get the ebook from my library, because truth be told, y'all, I'm about to cancel my Everand because they're not about to charge me $12 for one unlock when I could have had 5 books for free for $12 a month. So I'm gonna have to change how I do my audiobooks now. I might consider getting a Kindle, but it's coming down to a Kindle or a Nintendo DS. for my birthday next year. It's giving Nintendo DS. That's what it's giving. So I got some decisions to make. My final YA book is Rebel Daughter. Has anyone read this? I don't know if this is a biblical fiction. I believe the author is Jewish. And she lived in Israel, I believe, or in Italy for many years. And she wrote a story based on that. And so evidently it's a story about Esther, but not biblical Esther, but and the Romans and the rebels. And so I'm very curious to see where this goes. I've heard some very interesting things about it. But yeah, Rebel Daughter. Let me know your thoughts. I feel like I've heard of her books, like she's written some other books. I feel like. Okay, I gotta have a sip of tea, y'all. Check out my Christmas mug. And look at that part right there. This is my favorite part. My favorite part. So let's see. Emily, you vote for the Kindle? Yeah. Oh, Laura says, my oldest says she doesn't like Claudia Gray because of the sexual content. What? She pushes in her book. She said they're closed door, but they're always pushing up. Really? Well, that is concerning. Huh. Thank you for that. I'm going to have to look into that a little deeper. I'm so glad. I'm so glad we can share these things because we don't know what we don't know. Did she read the whole series or was it just the one, Laura? Did she just read the one and did that, or was it the whole series? Tammy says, skip Kindle. I won't purchase another, especially since I can now purchase Kindle books on Android. Right. And that's what I'm thinking. I don't know. Like I had a Kindle years ago. And then of course, it went out of date, like, 2014. There's no way I could use it. I don't think like the one I had was like a Kindle tablet. Like, I don't know. I don't even remember. I don't even think it could work anymore. But yeah, so we'll have to see. And last but not least, some adult books that I found. The Christmas Appeal by Janice Hallett. Yes. Lindsay, I know you are reading The Appeal. Let me know your thoughts on that. But I saw this last Christmas and I was like, oh my gosh, I wanted to buy it. But it was like full price. And the book buying ban was like on my big. And I was like, I can't do it. So I'm so glad I was able to get this for free, honey, for free. So I'm definitely going to add this to my TBR. It's short. Maybe I can finish it. Can't get the audiobook right now, but that's okay. Like I need to wean myself off of always needing the audiobook to read the book. I can read with my eyeballs. It's fine. That's how everybody used to do it back in the day. I don't need someone to read to me, but man, it's epistolary. So I kind of want the audiobook because it's epistolary, right? So we'll see. And then I got another Janice Hallett, The Mysterious Case of the Alberton Angels. I've heard so many great things about this. Oh my gosh. I really, really like Janice Hallett. I really like her books. I like epistolary books. I think that's something that I've leaned into this year and I really, really enjoy it. So yeah, I really like her books. Yeah. So let me know if you've read this one or not. I think this one came out before The Appeal, if I'm not mistaken. Oh my God, there's a bookmark in here. What does it say? The Mysterious. Oh no, look at this. Look, y'all, look at this. Look at this. It's giving. I'm about to throw this in the trash. I mean, I'm just saying it's just not my aesthetic. It's not my bookmark aesthetic. I'm glad I looked. See, you got to be more careful. Okay, so no, The Appeal probably was the first one, then the Tyford Code, and then when did this one come out? Let me see. When did this one actually come out? When did it? 2023. Okay, so I guess I'm just behind in her books. She's come out with quite a few, or maybe they're just being released here in the US. And yeah, so yeah, I am looking. Oh, I'll get that bookmark out of there. Absolutely not. So I'm looking forward to that. And the pièce de résistance is Blade of Dream by Daniel Abram. This is an adult fantasy. Y'all, these books be so expensive. Like this book, and I'm so glad that I found this book because I purchased the first book and this is the second book. So if I could read both of these together, I will be caught up in the series. Penny said she really, really loved this book or this series. I don't know if she's read this one yet, but she really loved the first one. Tammy, have you read this one? Do you know anything about it? If anybody has read this or read this series, let me know what your thoughts are on it. The name of the first book is called Age of Ash, an adult fantasy. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. So that's my final book. Again, not too many, but I thank the Lord. Not too many. You want to read that one? Yeah. Oh, you'll have to tell me about the Christmas appeal. I'm really enjoying the appeal. The drama, girl, the drama is top tier. It's so good. And the mystery is actually really good. I was surprised. I bought a new Kindle, Jamie says. I always read on the Kindle iPad app. But last year, I pulled out my old Kindle and realized I liked reading on it. Yeah, I don't even know where my old Kindle's at. I don't even know what I did with it. It's like I just have to think about those things. Like, yeah, I want to try all her books. Yeah. Tammy says, I haven't read the series yet, but I want to. Cool. So Laura says the oldest says she tried Lost Stars and Defy the Stars by Claudia Gray and DNF'd both. I read a little of Defy the Stars and told her to DNF. Whoa. Yeah, I don't have those. So I will read these. I'm going to read this first one and see where it lands. And I'll keep an eye out for those because, again, there's some YA books that can really push that. Especially when they have covers that can be very, very misleading as well. So I'll definitely keep my eye out on that. Thank you for sharing that. Yes. So, okay, y'all, we're getting ready to get into the tier ranking. Okay. Thank you so much for hanging out. With me. It's going to be a good time. I'm having so much fun already. I really am. I'm having a lot of fun. So I am going to go ahead and add the rank to here. And I want to see if everyone can see the screen. So I'm going to take some of the banner things off so we can actually see the screen really good. I'm going to take this off. So can everyone see? I can't see myself. That's completely irrelevant. But you guys can see me. And let me know if you can actually see the tier ranking screen. I do have the chat over here. So I won't be able to pop the comments into the chat, but I'll be keeping an eye on the chat as we go. Great. Lindsay says tier ranking time. We can see it. Okay. The meat tiers are big. Yes, let's discuss the tier ranking system. I have modified it. Okay. There have been some extensive modifications. Unfortunately, the tier ranking I did in April during my April live, I forgot to save it. Who's the smart girl? So we're going to be doing all of the books. I only plan to do initially everything from May to December, but we're starting from January all the way through to December, child. Okay, so we're gonna get the whole thing. Okay. So let's go over the tier ranking. So at the top we have the Brazilian meat buffet. If you've been to a Brazilian meat buffet, okay, it is literally one of the most fantastic places if you're a meat connoisseur like me and my husband. Okay, like it has carved. They bring all kinds of meat. You raise your hand or you turn a little. Actually, they give you a little indicator, like red, yellow, green, whatever. You get a little indicator. You put it on the table, and mine is always on green. Don't stop bringing the meat. Keep bringing the meat over and over again. So these books are books that are rereads that I absolutely love, that I'm always going to be talking about. So kind of like the repeat delicious goodness, okay? Burnt ends. Now, if you're new here, you know that pork is my absolute favorite meat. I have eaten beaver, venison. You know, I don't just grab it. I don't discriminate anything. If you can skin it and cut it, and you can put a little olive oil and garlic, you can eat it. Okay, we thank the Lord. So with burnt ends, the burnt end of the pig, just a little discussion before we get into the tier ranking, because I need to impart what I mean by my meat tier ranking, okay? If you're new here. So with the pig, you know, they got that little fatty piece that's like right there. It goes from their neck, because you know their jowls is huge. It goes from their neck all the way down to the, and that's their burnt end. So they cut that. It's that really fat, meaty part of the piggy. They cut it, they sear it, they burn it, sort of, kind of. It's delicious. So that is top tier superior. We have bacon. Bacon is just fantastic. It's always good, crispy, medium well. However you do your bacon, I appreciate it. Ribs, we all love a good rib, huh? We all love a good rib with a little potato salad, okay? Nothing like that, okay? With a little sweet tea. Pork chops, very good, depending on what cut you get. You know, sometimes I like a little bone-in chop myself, because that lining of bone is really delicious for me. That's my preference, okay? But you can do it any kind of way. I love the stuffed pork chops I make. Fantastic. Turkey. Now, listen. Turkey is good. You know, I don't eat turkey as often. I make turkey burgers from time to time. It's a very lean, healthy meat. Definitely not the one I go to all the time. Okay. So if you like turkey, no shade. I'm just saying turkey is not on the high tier for me. Now, the final tier is reserved for books that I DNF'd, that I won't ever read again, that I may or may not recommend depending on what they are. Okay. Pickled quail eggs. Number 1, I don't like pickled food. Number 2, I don't like quail eggs. Okay. Now, if it's a meat, we can make an exception. Mr. Librarian loves pickled anything. Okay. And one day he said, I want you to try these pickled quail eggs that come in a jar. That's jelly, has jelly. And I tried it and I said, not ever again. Okay. So it's a not ever again. So there's no meat that I'm not going to try. So I'm not going to say that. But pickled quail eggs, your girl ain't never going to try. Okay. Your girl ain't ever going to try. Oh, yeah. The chat's going live. Okay. So we're going to start with lore. Ooh, y'all know Chuck Black had your girl in a complete chokehold this year. Man, lore was so good, y'all. That's bacon. Lore was good. Chuck Black is a Christian sci-fi / fantasy author, and this series, The Starler Legacy, is fantastic. It is definitely more in the hard science fiction, but man, I highly, highly, highly recommend it. The first book is called Nova. Fantastic. Bacon. How to Begin the Christian Life. I would say that's bacon. It was really good. George Sweeting. It was definitely very encouraging. Very, I think it's a really good Bible study kind of book to have. My husband picked them up earlier this spring for me. It's a whole series that he has. So this is kind of for those who are new to the faith, and some just kind of reminders and kind of setting that foundation. So it's a really good resource. So I really enjoyed that one. American Queen. Ooh, that's burnt in. American Queen by Vanessa Miller was fantastic. And this is a Christian historical fiction about a set of or a group of emancipated slaves that leave and they start their own city, essentially. And the leader of this group, I can't think of her name now, y'all forgive me, but the main character in the story, she becomes essentially their queen. It's kind of like a socialist kind of society or neighborhood or city that they built up, but again, it was at that time. It's what they knew to do at that time. It's the faith in it is so fantastic. She does not shy away from the goriness, the trauma, and of slavery during that time. She does not hide away from that. However, there is a tenderness to her writing that you don't find in a Toni Morrison or a book or anything like that. Like, there's those kinds of books which have their place. But it was so refreshing to read a story with that foundation of faith in it that pointed us back to Jesus, that pointed us, but also gave credence to the history of African Americans, right, in the United States. I highly recommend this book. I highly recommend it for sure. The Babysitters Club, Chrissy's great idea. Yeah, that's bacon. I really enjoyed it. I caught up on all the Babysitters Club books this year, so this was a good time. This was a good time. Laura says, Libby says, pickle quail eggs. Yeah, it's crazy, right? Laura says, the hubs and I are buddy reading flight. Choco, added American Queen. Yeah, we love it. One by One. Yeah, it's pickle quail egg. I didn't like One by One that much. I'm really trying with Ruth Ware. I actually only have one book on her shelf because I had to think about that one. Because my perception on thrillers has changed now. The Lord is definitely refining my taste and pruning those kinds of books. Like, I don't have a desire for those types of books like I used to. So yeah, that's pickle quail egg. I know a lot of people really like One by One. I think I gave it 2 stars. I'm not sure. I can't remember. It's 2 or 3 stars, but I feel like it's a 2-star book. I mean, it's not one of her best. It's not. The Babysitters Club. Which one is this? I can't even see that one. Mary Ann Saves the Day. I actually liked Mary Ann Saves the Day. So far, that's going to be my favorite Babysitters Club. Yeah, I like that one. Veronica Roth. I like that worse than One by One. Art Conspirator. So Veronica Roth wrote the what did she write? She wrote somebody help me in the chat. She wrote what was it, child? Anyway, beside the point, there was incest. It was nasty. I DNF'd it. It was supposed to be based on the tragedy of Antigone, which I really do like Greek tragedies. But this took that and just went all the way to the left. It was like soul transference and detailed sapphic sex scenes and even sex. It was just bad. It was just bad. I don't recommend it. Pickle quail eggs. Don't eat it. Oh man. The Boy, the Fox, the Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse, Brazilian Meat Buffet. I'm always gonna love this story. I really, really enjoyed it. And yeah, I really loved it. I highly recommend. It's perfect for kids, perfect for families. I really, really enjoyed that one, you guys. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Yeah, I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna put this. Yeah, I liked it. I like The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I think the other C.S. Lewis book that I read, I like that a little better. Which I think is I can't remember what it is. Oh, The Magician's Nephew. Yeah, I like The Magician's Nephew a bit more than The Lion, the Witch, and Wardrobe. Y'all don't come for me. Don't come for me. So yeah, I really, Magician's Nephew was really good. I really like that. Those are really good. Spinning Silver, come on. If you know me, you know. Spinning Silver is in a secular fantasy story, lightly based on Rumpelstiltskin, but it's just such a beautiful story. I'm just so attached to it. It's not for everybody. It's a little bit of a grimmy dark to it, but man, it's set in winter. It's just beautiful. I love the story so much. It's always going to be there. Here Lies Author. Did I DNF Here Lies Author? I finished it and I'm still going to give it pickle quail eggs. Actually, it's going to be worse than Veronica Roth because it definitely mocked faith. It didn't just mock the Christian faith, it mocked other faith systems, which, okay, but it definitely mocked the Christian faith. And I was interested in it because it is a middle grade, a older middle grade, young, younger YA, Arthurian retelling. It kind of does deal with like, and I have vlogs on all these books. You guys can check it out, reviews and all that stuff if you want to hear detailed thoughts. But yeah, overall, I didn't particularly like Here Lies Author. It is an Arthurian retelling, and essentially the author is it kind of follows his bard, and his bard ends up being a girl, but she kind of does this like she has to dress up as a boy and dress up as a girl from time to time, depending on who her mentor wants her to do. I see that in some books now. And I will even say there's an element to it in some books, and it's not okay in real life. Like, it's not okay. But that didn't grieve me as much as his blatant disregard for Christ in the book. And it's like, you could have just left that out, bro. Like, you didn't even have to mention any of that, but you put it in your book, Philip. So nah, man. Nah. I'm out. The Brothers Hawthorne. I would say I DNF'd it. But I would say it's Turkey. You know what I'm saying? I would say it's Turkey. This is book 4 in the Inheritance Games like world. I read the first 3 books last year. I really enjoyed them. I gave them like 3 stars. So that was a fun time. The Brothers Hawthorne, I couldn't really get with it. It was just so boring. It was too long, and she didn't pick the boy I like. So I'm out. Honest Faith. Yeah, that's a good one. Honest Faith was really good. I'm going to put Honest Faith here because Honest Faith, I think, was one of Charles. I read Honest Faith with Dia and Tiffany. Hey. We are kind of like in this thing where we're reading Spurgeon once a year. We have our buddy read. I really enjoyed reading it with them. I will say it's not my favorite Spurgeon. As a matter of fact, I'm actually reading a Spurgeon right now called The Prayer of Jabez. And I should have put that here in the ranking because that's actually going to be a burnt in. I like that better than Honest Faith, and Honest Faith is fantastic. But he has written so many amazing books, but Honest Faith definitely does fall a little. It's my least favorite, if that's saying a lot. The Speckled Band. Oh yeah, I would think that was good. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I kind of like the Speckled Band. I would say that was Bacon. Again, some of these books I have given 5 stars, but that's not how we're ranking. I just want to let you know, like, oh, you get that 5 stars, girl. Why you get that ribs? It's just how I'm feeling. The Speckled Band is my first Sherlock Holmes novel or Sherlock Holmes story mystery that I read, and I really enjoyed it. Like, I don't even know how you came up with it. Hind's Feet in High Places. Ooh, man. I really liked that. I really liked Hind's Feet in High Places. I read that again for a Christian read along with Krista and some others, and I really liked Hind's Feet in High Places. It came at a perfect time for me in my faith at that time. The testing of my faith was definitely being tried earlier this year, and this book was incredibly pivotal for that for me. So yeah, I really liked it. Swim Team. I thought Swim Team was great. Swim Team was fun. It's a graphic novel about a little brown girl. She doesn't know how to swim. But she signs up for the swim team. Girl, tell the truth. But she learns to swim, and she ends up being on the swim team. And it's just a sweet story, and I highly recommend it. Honest June, of course. I finished Honest June this year. I totally forgot. Oh my gosh. Honest June follows this young girl who gets like a little sprinkle on her nose. She has a hard time. She's a people pleaser. It gets her in trouble. Her fairy godmother comes and says, hey girl, stop lying. And every time you lie, you're gonna get caught. And I'm gonna sprinkle some dust on your nose and until you get it straight. She gets into some shenanigans. She does ruin a lot of things. I ain't gonna hold you. Resistance. Ooh, Resistance was so good. Resistance was good. Ilion Chronicles, highly recommend. Christian fantasy is definitely for the adults, but not too hard. As far as like, there is some grimmy dark aspects to it, but it's still really good. It's still really good. I really, really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. So let's check it out in the chat. All the love for Divergent. Yeah, Veronica Roth did really good job with that. She did. Jamie says, yeah, I agree. After the Divergent series, her writing did go down. Lizzie laughing at the boy. Yeah, she didn't pick the boy I wanted, the Brothers Hawthorne. She sure did not. Baby June. Yeah, thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you guys for hanging out. It's been a great time so far. Fish in a Tree. Ooh, y'all. I forgot about Fish in a Tree. Yeah, so this book is very, very special to me. It's a book about a young girl who has dyslexia. And of course, like I mentioned earlier, that was something that I contended with when I was a young kid for all the way up till I was about 15 until, the Lord healed me. And yeah, so yeah, learning was very difficult. And this book, little Chrissy was nervous about it because again, it was, some things had been suppressed. But reading this book really helped just unlock some things that needed to be unlocked. And I highly, 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 highly recommend Fish in a Tree. Highly recommend it. Fantastic. A Transformed Mind. Oh man, I haven't really talked about this. But yeah, this is up there. This is by Tracy Wainwright. I met Tracy at the Fall Festival, and this is a Christian nonfiction. She talks about how the Lord transforms our mind, how it's important, and her thoughts and insights are so refreshing. Truly, the Lord has given her a word and a message concerning what that looks like, how we can actually walk out changing our thoughts and allowing the Holy Spirit to renew our mind. I highly recommend it. Definitely a burnt in for that one. Babysitters Club. Logan likes Marianne. Yeah, this is probably my favorite Babysitters Club. One of them. It hasn't been that many. But yeah, I really like Logan likes Marianne. And Marianne is so sweet. Marianne is so sweet. I love how she defends herself. Dawn and the Impossible 3. Yeah, I would say this is Pork Chop. It was fun. I had a good time with it. I had a good time with it. It was a good time. And now that I think about it, Marianne Saves the Day is actually going to be a Pork Chop too. Now that I think about it. Because I got Marianne Saves the Day mixed up with Logan Likes Marianne. I got that mixed up. Those two totally different books. Oh, Nova. Ooh, y'all. Nova. So good. Man, Chuck Black. So good. The Hiding Place by Corey ten Boom. Fantastic. Again, I really, really liked. Yeah, I liked her story. Very, very inspirational. As well, Corey ten Boom. If you've heard of her, fantastic book. That was another. I think I did a read along with that, and I really, really enjoyed it. The Harbinger. Oh man. Okay, so this is again Brazilian meat buffet. I'm always going to read this. This is the third time I read it this year. I read it with a book club my aunt had put together, and it was so on time. I highly recommend. It's definitely a very heavy read, but if you are into end times prophecy, biblical prophecy, let me preface that. I think you're going to find this very interesting. It's going to be a very interesting read. It's going to be a very interesting read for sure. Oathbound. Ooh, I like this. I liked Oathbound. Oathbound is a YA pirate fantasy. I gave it 3 stars. I thought it was a lot of fun. I really liked the story. I'm not going to continue the series, but I would recommend it. I was kind of like in my pirate seafaring bag this year, y'all. Absolutely was. Flight. Oh. Actually, it's going to be like that. Flight. Man, Flight was so good. Flight was so good. Man. Oh, man, Flight was so good. Fool's Quest, Robin Hobb. Do we even need to? I mean, come on. Of course. I don't know why this is like that. Of course it's going to be burnt in. Fool's Quest is book 2 in the Fool and the Faith. I can't think of the name of the series. Don't get me wrong. I remember the name of the series. I remember it. Chrissy's Big Day. I think that was okay. Yeah, Chrissy's Big Day was cute. I liked it. It was fun. Mark of Evil, by Tim LaHaye and Craig Parshall. Again, that's definitely one that I have. That's an end times military political thriller. It is the last book in the series called The End. I highly recommend it if you like end time political shoot 'em up, bang bang, prophecy. It's really crazy to read it though in 2024. That's all I'll say. It's very crazy to read it. Boba Time with Pearl Lee. Oh, I loved it. I love Boba Time with Pearl Lee. I really did. I had a lot of fun with it. I think that's kind of going to be a rib, actually. I wouldn't say it's bacon. No, I love boba, so it's actually going to be up there. It's actually going to be up there. Yeah, it's actually going to be up there. I liked it a little bit more than Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Y'all don't come for me. Don't come for me. Oh, encouragement for the depressed. Man, this is fantastic. This is another one that I highly recommend, by Spurgeon. Such a good book. Spurgeon contended with depression. And so I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. The People of the Spark. Oh, I really like this one. This is book 2 in the City of Embers series. I've been reading that probably for the past couple of years. It's a middle grade dystopian fantasy, or dystopian sci-fi, I should say. It's not fantasy, it's dystopian sci-fi, like in apocalyptic kind of setting. And I really like it. I really like it. So hopefully I can finish the series this year. But I liked it. It was a good time. I would say I liked it better than Oathbound, for sure. The Fury. Yeah, so this was a thriller. I had fun with it. I would say that's pork chop, I would say, yeah, I didn't like it better than the Babysitters Club. Actually, I did. Let me stop. I did like it actually better than the Babysitters Club. It was fun. Again, it deals with theater kids, actors, people in theater, and their drama and the murders that they have. Happily Ever Afters. Yeah, I like this. I like this a lot. I was nervous about this one. This is a YA coming of age story. I don't want to say it's like romantic, but it definitely was a lot of fun. There's a lot of social commentary. Follows a young lady who loves to write. She loves to write romance stories. She gets into this very prestigious arts school, and she realizes she hits writer's block. And so she's trying to navigate through that. She's biracial, so she has, I love that. Obviously being in a interracial marriage. So I like that representation. I like that her brother, there's a lot of disability representation, a lot of interesting, thought-provoking commentary. The language is wild. I don't know. The language is pretty wild. As I'm sitting here right now, I don't know if I could get through it again because of the language. It didn't happen a lot, but it was Dragonfly Ashes. Yeah. So this is a Christian mystery. I love this. What was the first one? Firefly Diaries by C.C. Warren was the first book in this series. I really enjoyed it. I read it last year. This was good. It was a really good entry. I read it with Thea and Stacy. We had a great time. It wasn't as good as Firefly Diaries for me. I gave that one 5 stars. This one was really good. The mystery was good, but it's definitely more hard-hitting, grimy, dark. So, it deals with a lot more real crime mysteries versus, somebody getting hit with a candlestick in the library. It's not like that. Definitely more real world mysteries. Some very, very hard hitting things. So yeah, just keep that in mind when you're reading. Speaking of The Naturals, man, this was fun. I got to get this bacon. This was fun. Where do I put it though? Yeah, I think this is a good place to put it. The Naturals was a lot of fun. It definitely was. I read it with Bethany. Hey girl, hey, huh? Yeah, I would definitely put it at bacon. It was a good time. It was a good time. I had a lot of fun with it. It definitely, it's more adult than I thought it would be. I thought it was gonna be like, I don't know, lighthearted. I don't know, but it was really good. I mean, there were some parts that we had to skip over because it was like, ooh, because you got an insight into the mind of the killer, and then you find out who it was. You're like, dang, this is crazy, So I'm really looking forward. We're super excited to continue the series. Like, we're just gonna finish the series together, okay? So I'm super excited about it. It's gonna be good. Oath. Oh, Laura, I just need you to know. Let me get in the mic. Laura, I need you to know. Oath took me out. Anybody that's reading the Chuck Black, when you get to Oath, prepare yourself. That's all I'm gonna say. Took me out. Becca. Rebecca was wild. Rebecca was wild, y'all. So let me catch up in the chat, see what everybody's doing. How y'all doing? Thank y'all for hanging out. This has been so much fun. Fishing the Tree is on my TBR. That's what Jamie says. I love that for you. I hope you really enjoy it. Emily says, I loved book 1 in the Divergent series. Each book got worse and worse. Love the Divergent series. I did. I love that I got hoodwinked and hijink at the end. I did. Hiding Place. Okay, Richie, you plan on reading Hiding Place in 2025. It's fantastic. I highly recommend it. The audiobook was fantastic as well. Harbinger. Yes, Lindsay, you read Harbinger this year too. What did you think about it? I think you enjoyed it as well. Laura says, Boba Time with Pearl Lee was one of my all-time favorite read alouds with my girls. I taught them to crochet. That is so beautiful. It is literally such an amazing book. Definitely bacon tier. You got me thinking it might be Burnt In because it was a really good story. You know what? You're right. It was a really good story. It was a really good story. That's actually going to be Burnt In. You're right, Laura. Hey, T, how you doing, girl? Yes, Bethany, our buddy read was top tier this year. Top tier. Ooh, Emily, yes, we do need to do a buddy read. We got to figure it out. Y'all, I did, on my calculations, I think I did like so many buddy reads last year. It was crazy. This year, I think I did like over 30. It was wild, bro. Laura says, I'm not ready. The hubs and I have been telling everyone about Chuck Black. Look at testify about Chuck Black. Listen. Chuck Black, man. T. Oh, you just got home from church Christmas party. Love that. I hope you guys had a good time. Love that. Okay, so The Sword and the Song. This is the third book in the Song of Shira. I was saying Song of Shira for so long. No, I was saying Song of Seir. That's wrong. It's Song of Shira, which is a Christian fantasy. It is like has Irish lore to it. So if you're into that, I think you will really enjoy it. This is the third book. I'm gonna have to say it's pork chop. It was good. It was good. It kind of let me down though a little bit. I was expecting a bit more. I really thought it was gonna go a different direction. I kind of don't like how it ended with like the romantic part to it. I was like, I mean, you should have just set that up from the beginning, sis. Like, you didn't have to put people with people. You could have just set that arc up in the beginning, and I think that would have paid off more. If you know, you know. Song of Ebony. Oh, okay. So I DNF'd this one. I will say that I'm going to put it at pork chop for me, even though I DNF'd it. And I DNF'd it because I don't think the writing just didn't fit me. But I love the beautiful cover. Love there's a beautiful brown girl on the cover. And this is a Snow White retelling. I think if you're into like romance, fairy tale retellings, I think you might enjoy this one. It just didn't work for me. But again, just because, for me, like just because I didn't like it doesn't mean somebody else isn't going to love it, So I don't want to like throw the book out because I didn't like it. Like I feel like it has to be it has to be at the pickle quail egg level. Them books, just stay away from them pickle quail eggs, Everything else, check it out. But I did enjoy Song of Ebony, but it just was really, really slow. Like it took me a whole month and a half to get through half of the book. I don't think I was the intended audience for that one. 3 by Ted Dekker. So yeah, this was good. I really like this. Yeah, I like this. This was one of his most well-known thrillers. And I was nervous about it because I've heard like it's super, super creepy. It wasn't creepy. It was definitely more psychological. It was definitely psychological. And I liked it. It definitely reminded me of House of Leaves to a certain degree. But not the bad parts of House of Leaves, Lindsay. I think you would enjoy it, Lindsay. Like, I know I said House of Leaves. I don't want to trigger the chat. I don't want to trigger the chat talking about House of Leaves. I don't. Yeah, Quiet Life in the Country. I really like this. Yeah, this is a mystery, a Lady Hardcastle mystery that I read with Teresa earlier this year, and I really liked it. It's about Lady Hardcastle and her maid Flo, and they go around the English countryside solving murders, honey, and having tea and crumpets on the way. And I really liked it. Ignite. I really liked Ignite. Again, I think I would put that at pork chop. I think it's definitely, I think a lot of people will really enjoy it. I think it's a good entry point maybe into fantasy if it's something that you want, if you're looking for something relatively clean. There's no sexual content in it. It is Christian. It's published by a Christian publishing house. There is some allegorical faith in it. I don't say it's not very heavy-handed. I can really pick up on the allegorical faith. I know some people have. So if you have read this and you can kind of speak to that, I would love to talk about that. So yeah. Richie said, how many books did you read this year? Girl, I read, as of right now, 108 books. So yeah, we're halfway through. We're halfway through. I think I'll probably have a few more read by the end of the year. But yeah, I read about 108 books this year. So yeah, guys, good. That is good. Claudia and Mean Janine. That's actually my least favorite. I didn't really like that one that much. I'm not really a big fan of Claudia. I'm sorry. If Claudia is your favorite babysitter, my bad. I'm sorry. Agnes Gray. Ooh, Agnes Gray was good. Agnes Gray was bacon. Yeah, Agnes Gray. Yeah, Agnes Gray was bacon. I can't say it was better than The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. It kind of was better than Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe for me. Agnes Gray, I really enjoyed it. I read it with Kelly, a classic. Really looking forward to getting into some more Bronte next year. And I'm just gonna say, Wuthering Heights is definitely high on the list. I haven't read it yet, but it's definitely up there. ASAP. I really like this. I would say it definitely, this is like a companion or kind of sort of the sequel to XOXO. I loved XOXO. I love that book. ASAP, it's like it is a Korean YA story. So this follows some of the same characters you see or you read about in the XOXO. And it's cute. It definitely is more like on the entertainment side. I did like the culture. I didn't really care too much for the love story that much. It wasn't as precious and sweet. It was more of a will they, won't they, second chance kind of thing. And I'm not really there. Claudia and the New Girl. Yeah, I thought it was good. Actually, I didn't like it that much. Again, I mean, if I'm ranking them, I rank them a little better. I think I may have given this 3 stars. I don't think I gave it 4, but I can't say it's turkey. You know what I'm saying? But Neither Forsaken City. Ooh, now this is the second book in the Song of Shira, and I really liked it. I really liked that. I really liked it a lot. Yeah, I think that's my favorite book of the series. In Song of Shire. Book 2 was fantastic. The Crown. I have to put it pickle quail egg. I didn't like The Crown that much, y'all. And yeah, no, I gotta at least put it here. I gotta at least put it here because she did pick the boy that I wanted her to pick. She did have a character arc that was predictable, but also positive, but she was insufferable. This is book 5 in the what was the name of the series, y'all? Oh my gosh, what was the name of the series? The Crown? Oh, what was the name of the series? Oh, The Selection. Man. Yeah, so this is book 5 in the Selection series. I reread books 1 through 3. I highly recommend them. Books 1 through 3 hold up so strongly. But again, these books that follow, books 4 and 5 that follow, the girl was insufferable. She did not take a day off. It was just, I'm entitled. Girl, just take one day. It'll benefit you to take one day. And she was an insufferable character. She's probably my most insufferable character that I read this year. I didn't like her as a character. So that's kind of why I wanted to put her character in pickle quail eggs. But I'm going to put her at turkey because at the end, she ended up being okay. Blood Secrets. Yeah, good time with Blood Secrets. This was book 2 in the I can't think of the name of the series by Morgan Bussey, but I pretty much read most of Morgan Bussey's books this year. But I will say I didn't like it as much as I liked Ignite. So that's why I'm kind of putting it here. But I think it was a solid entry. I think it's really good for older middle grade going into YA readers. I don't think I was the intended audience. I think a lot of things that I wanted to be fleshed out, she didn't. And I think that's just because I'm a bit older. And I think it was more for middle grade to going into young adults. So it is definitely it is a Christian fantasy. So I think, it'll be really good for that. Pretty much clean. It does have some grimy dark to it, some unsettling things that happen, but I think it's handled very well. Morgan has beautiful writing, beautiful writing. The Caterpillar. Of course, this is just so precious. I love this book. One of my favorites. I ended up rereading it. Loved it. Miss Pearly Girls. I did not like this one. I did not like Miss Pearly's Girls. Pause. Let's catch up in the chat. 108 books. Let's go, baby. Yes. Want to read Spitting Silver. I think you might enjoy it. If you are into fantasy, I think you might enjoy it. Yeah. The only thing with that one is like it's told from 3 points of view. And the chapters aren't labeled by like, okay, we're following Miriam, we're following, Katerina. I don't think that's her name. I can't remember the other girl's name, but let's just say for the sake of explanation, that's her name. It doesn't have any chapter labels. So reading it can kind of be a little jarring at first to figure out, well, who's talking. But as you go on, you kind of figure that part out. The audiobook is really good though. Emily said, Spitting Silver has been on my TBR for so long. Girl, do it. Read it. I think you're going to love it. No desire to be Wuthering Heights. Toxic people being toxic towards each other. Girl, but I just found that I am a toxic romance girly. Blame Daphne du Maurier. I love me a noir romantic gothic romance story. I think I'm into gothic romance stories now. I think I discovered that. I just eat it up. Laura says, just found out that Hoopla has a Star-Lord Legacy series on audio and ebook. Girl, tell the Lord, hallelujah. We thank the Lord for provision. Come on, somebody. We thank the Lord for provision. Danny. Oh, yeah. Danny. Oh my gosh, you guys. You got to go follow Danny. Danny Dabble. She is absolutely amazing. Love her content. Oh my gosh. Hi, Chrissy. Just popping in to say hello. Wishing you and the chat a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here and stopping in, girl. Richie says, yeah, the main character in The Crown was a bit much. You said it so much. You said it way more graciously than I did. The first 3 books were great. Laura says, not my 14-year-old crying over the selection sitting in pickle quill. I moved it to Turkey. Okay. I moved it to Turkey. It's not pickled quail eggs. It's turkey. Okay. Sometimes, Laura said, poor sis is upset. I'm sorry. I didn't listen, I really didn't like her, but for the sake of how it ended, I moved her to Turkey. Okay, so let's talk about Miss Pearlie's Girls real quick. Pickle quail eggs. Again, the most pickle quail egg. And for me, I was supposed to be the intended audience for this, right? So this apparently follows 4 sisters. They all have different lives. Miss Pearlie is their mama, okay? And Miss Pearlie is sick now, and the sisters are all doing their own thing, living their life. And so now they're kind of coming together. I really love family dynamics in books. I love how when authors explore that between siblings and parents and grandparents. I love legacy type stories. And so anything with that kind of trope in it, I really enjoy, right? So I was excited about this. And then following a Black family, that was even more interesting as well. But what did it for me was like the voice of it was just so divided. Like there was one sister who was in a sapphic relationship. Another one was being a thought out in the streets. Another one was being Miss like business go-go girl, maybe she was into some suspicious financial practices. And then you had the eldest sister who was the church girl, who was like pastor's wife, but she really wasn't trying to be a pastor's wife. Like she didn't even understand like why her faith was there. So for me, I'm supposed to read myself into that, right? I'm supposed to be the church girl. I'm supposed to read myself into that character. I'm supposed to read myself into a lot of the different elements of the book. And I didn't. And it was very confusing. I thought it was supposed to be like, I was like, is it supposed to be a Christian book? Like a Christian story, like a Vanessa Miller book or something like that? Or are you just trying to be over here like with the rest of the secular, like the Black secular fiction? It doesn't matter. Just choose one. Like I spewed it out of my mouth. Okay. So I didn't like it. The Chaos Grid. I really like the Chaos Grid. Yeah, I like the Chaos Grid. I liked it a lot. Yeah, I liked it a lot. This is a sci-fi Christian story. Again, I think Enclave is a Christian fantasy publishing house. So if you are looking for like Christian fantasy books and things like that, go check their website out. So Chaos Grid by Lindsay Lulin was a lot of fun. I loved how spunky the main character was. I love the animal companion. It was like fantastical and then like magical and was very adventurous. And it's set in this cyber dystopian post-apocalyptic world where we live in dome cities, and this young woman is on an adventure to figure out so why we're living in these dome cities and things like that. And there's murders that have happened, and it was very, very adventurous. The faith in it, I didn't really pick up on the allegorical faith in it, but I was talking to somebody in the comments. They were like, no, it's this particular faith. So definitely check it out. I highly recommend it, by the way. Definitely a lot of fun. I Surrender All. Come on now. This one right here. Yeah. This one. Yeah. I Surrender All by Priscilla Schreier. I read this in a book club in the fall. And the ladies I had that with were just phenomenal. It brought us together. I also read it with my bestie Monique. So I had like double the fun, double the encouragement. It was just so pivotal for me reading it, and I highly recommend it. This was actually my first Priscilla Schreier as well, and I just loved this book. And it's just it definitely is so heavy. It really talks about what true discipleship is and total surrender to God and what that looks like, and actually living that out in your life. Like, be not hearers of the word, but doers of the word, right? obeying Christ and surrendering every area of our life. And that is a process. And we're all in different stages of that. And so it's a great book to read with other sisters, other like-minded believers. I was highly encouraged by it. Highly recommend that one for sure. Babysitters Club, Claudia and the Bad Joke. Yeah, this was turkey. I didn't like this one that much. I didn't like the fact that the babysitters kind of took it into their own hands to solve this problem with this really bad kid, and ain't nobody asking an adult about nothing. So I didn't really like that part. But that could just be me now as an adult looking at it. I'm sure if I was a kid, I'd be like, yeah, let's get them. Let's get them. My cousin Rachel. My cousin Rachel, so good. Man, I still think about my cousin Rachel, y'all. Was it better than American Queen? It was. I don't know. I'm not supposed. Again, it was burnt in. My cousin Rachel, fantastic. Daphne du Maurier is the reason why I'm a gothic romance girly now. I want to read her books now. I want to read all her books now. Let's see, catching up in the chat. Oh, Amanda, hey girl. Hey y'all. Not me missing this. Why do I hear that? My bad. I had a lot happening this evening. Can't wait to watch the replay. Oh, sister, no worries. Praying that all continues to go well for you, girl. You get some rest. Girl. You get some rest. It's all good. The playback be here, honey. I stay catching up on YouTube. I'm sorry, y'all. I stay catching up. We're gonna be catching up till Jesus come back. Chrissy, I love what's in burnt ends. Right. Love it. All the love for Tammy. Jamie says Chaos Grid was so good, especially if you love dystopian. It's also an Old Testament character retelling. Jamie, you're the one that told me who it was. I'm gonna have to go back to the comments and see who you said it was, because you told me that too. Book 2 is coming out this year. What? Wait, book 2, Chaos Grid, is coming out this year or next year? Ooh, confirm, Jamie, confirm. Priscilla, fantastic, right? Laura says, I surrender all. Miss Priscilla absolutely ministered to me this year. I always remember the lessons I learned. Come on now, preach. Amanda says, gotta check that one out, Priscilla. Yeah, you're a gothic girly now. I am, Lindsay, I am. Here's me saying it. Yes, girl, I do. Jamie says, okay, great. Ooh, I got to pre-order it then. I got to pre-order it because I definitely want to read it. It was so good. Ooh, y'all, we're getting down to the end. Cry of the Raven. This was, I can't remember this book too. I think this is the 4th book. I really liked it. I really liked Cry of the Raven. Ooh, I didn't like it more than that though. I didn't like it more than them. Let me preface that. I said, wait a minute. I didn't like it more than Honest Faith and the Magician's Nephew. I didn't like it that much, but it was good. I had a good time. I really enjoyed it. It's book 2 in the Cry of the Raven series. Christian fantasy. It does have like a gothic tone to it, like dark romance kind of thing. But the spiritual warfare in it, how Morgan writes that into the story, intercessory prayer, how the magic works in this world, like dream walking and different families and war and politics and love. I love the romance in this. It definitely was like the secondary like plot or a secondary level into the story, but also the romance had a direct impact to the plot. I really liked it. I highly recommend it. It was good. Daughter of the Pirate King. Man, I didn't like it, y'all. I'm sorry. Every time I think about this book, and Bethany, thank you, girl. Bethany gifted it to me this year. And so I was like, I think I said in one of my videos, I was like, yeah, I don't unhaul books that are gifted because I just, but she was like, girl, if you don't unhaul that book. Daughter of the Pirate King. Let me know if you really liked it. It's pickled quail eggs. I think I gave it 2 stars, but I didn't like it that much. I don't know. I might have to update my rating. I'm gonna have to think about this one, y'all. Should I put it in turkey? Was there something about it that I liked? Nah, it's pickled quail egg. It's pickled quail egg. Yeah. There was really nothing about it I like. To the point where I'm like, I would recommend it. I don't know. The Blaze of Akatar. Oh man, this was so good. This was good. Blaze of Akatar is a Christian non-magical fantasy, book 3. Highly recommend the series, y'all. Skin. Yeah. Skin is burnt in. Skin was good. Skin was good. I really like Skin by Ted Decker. It was totally surprising. I had a fun time with it. I still think about it. Boy, Crazy Stacy. Now, Stacy was real fast in this. I'm not even gonna hold you. I was like, Stacy, if you don't go somewhere and sit down and put some sunscreen on before you get burned. It was just, she was doing the most. And you know who I really stood out in that book of was Anne, Mary Ann. Mary Ann was like, you doing the most. You supposed to be helping with these kids, and you out here trying to check for the lifeguard, being fast. But let me move. The Devil in the Dark Water. I like The Devil in the Dark Water by Stuart Turton. Definitely one of his more darker books. And I like it. Out of all the Stuart Turton books that I've read, I like this the least, and that's saying a lot. Yeah, I think I don't know. I liked it enough. Did I like it better than Chaos Grid? I did. Did I like it better than Dragon? I did. Did I like it better than 3? I did. So yeah, I really liked The Devil in the Dark Water. It was good. Actually, yeah, it was good. It was good. Actually, I think it's gonna be more after 3. The Devil in the Dark Water was really good. Definitely a lot darker, psychological thriller wise. But everything, even though the story kind of sets up for something to be supernatural, there's always a logical explanation in Stuart Turton's books. But yeah, if you want to read Stuart Turton, I wouldn't start with this one. I would start with 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle for sure. Dust by Kara Swanson. I really like this one. Yeah, I liked Dust by Kara Swanson. This is the first book in the Heirs of Neverland, so it's a Peter Pan retelling. I really liked it. Definitely a little more darker tone. Perfect for fall. I really enjoyed it. Elite. Ooh, I liked it. I liked Elite, y'all. Elite is bacon. Elite is bacon. Elite is bacon. Yeah, Elite was good. That's book 2 in the selection series. So good. Empire of Gold. Yeah, Empire of Gold, I would say it was pretty good. Yeah, I liked Empire of Gold. This was book 3 in the City of Brass series, which is an adult fantasy, Eastern, like desert mystery, Eastern mythology type fantasy book. So it's very, very specific. And I really like that. So it deals with, jinns and, desert monsters and, portals into magical worlds. It's very, very whimsical like that. And I thought it was good. Content, some war, things like that. It's your run of the mill. The writing was really good. S.H. Gaborti has beautiful writing. And so I was really glad I was able to finish that series for sure. Fellowship of the Ring. Yeah, that's burnt in. That's up there. Fellowship of the Ring is up there. Fellowship of the Ring was fantastic. I feel like it might be in my top 10 books this year. Of course, the burnt in is kind of indicative of what this list is indicative of what books could be in my top 10. In addition to my my honorable mentions as well. So, but we stay tuned to the channel. That's not coming no time soon. I mean, it'll be here, but not tomorrow. You're not getting the top 10 list tomorrow. No, not doing it tomorrow. But man, the Fellowship of the Ring's fantastic. I see why everyone loves it. It's highly lauded. It was just absolutely amazing. It took me most of the year to read because I didn't really rush through it. I think I read the first like 5 chapters, but there were some chapters that just stood out to me, that just the writing was so beautiful. I feel like The Great River was one of my favorite chapters. Sam, I mean, gosh, it was just such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful story. I'm super excited to continue it for sure. Let's see what the chat is saying. Okay, yeah, pickle quail eggs. She being fast. She was being fast, and she knew it. Ooh, Devil, I need to read. Yeah, Devil in Dark Water. I think you might like that, Timmy. I think you might like it. Okay, Amanda, you like Dust too? Yeah. Amanda says, Elite is bacon. Yeah, it's so good. First Light wins. You know, I don't have many thrillers on my, secular thrills. Let me preface it by that. First Light wins was really good. I would have to say that was bacon. Yeah. That was bacon. Yeah, I can put it back here. Yeah, I would. Yeah, First Light Wins was really good. I liked how the story was told. I liked the thrill of it. I liked the mistaken identity kind of thrill. Content though, just some language and a little bit of graphic violence, but kind of your run of the mill thriller, right? Your run of the mill thriller. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. We've been going for about an hour now, and man, thank you guys so much. It's just been so much fun. Actually, an hour and a half we've been going for. So yeah, and we're getting to the end. Mind Games by Nancy Mel. Oh, this was good. Mind Games is up there. Mind Games is up there, y'all. Yeah, Mind Games is up there. Mind Games was good by Nancy Mel. This is my first Nancy Mel. Fantastic. Flight of the Raven, I really like that too. Now that I think about it, Christy's great idea. No, that's bacon. I had a good time with that one. I'm like kind of rethinking my ranking, like Flight of the Raven. I actually like Flight of the Raven better than Cry of the Raven. Flight of the Raven is book 2 in the series, and I really enjoyed it as well. Fool's Assassin. Of course, that's going to be up here. But the question is, did I like it more than Fool's Quest? I have to say Fool's Assassin was, oh man, I don't know. They're both kind of on par with each other. They're both so important. For a Lifetime, come on now. We all know For a Lifetime utterly wrecked me. I have not read Across the Ages yet. I think that will probably be a book I will read in the spring. I know that she has book 5 coming out, so I need to pre-order that. So definitely probably going to get my fill in with Gabriel Meyer. But man, For a Lifetime had the whole chat in break. When I say everybody was crying, it was like a domino of tears. One by one, we all cried. And I'm talking like sobbing. And y'all know I'm tenderhearted. I will sob in a minute. For a Lifetime had us all laid out, okay? The vlog will be in my description. You go check it out. You can see the real time. And let me tell you, Monique saw the vlog and she was like, sis, you cried so much. Like, did the book move you? That girl, yes, the book moved me that much. We was weeping, okay? We were weeping. The chat is live. Mind Games, yes, so good. Laura says, I've really been wanting to read Nancy Mel. Cold Pursuit is on my winter TBR. Say so. Me too. Oh my gosh. Love that. Amanda says, we all know For a Lifetime. Girl, you better say it. Lizzie was like, For a Lifetime, listen. Laura said, For a Lifetime, listen. Obviously, we all read it together. Listen, if Tay and others were in the chat, they say For a Lifetime too. We was in the chat, broke down. Laura says, for a lifetime, wait till you read Across the Ages. It's going to be in Brazilian territory. What? 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 Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I can't wait. Yeah, For a Lifetime was so good. Richie said, Cold Pursuit had me on the end of my seat. I finished Cold Threat recently. Wow. I gotta expedite that really quick. Amanda says, we was all crying. I hear this. Lindsay's like, we sobbed so hard. Girl, Laura said, I'm still crying. Girl, we are all still crying. Every time I think about Across the Ages, the Timeless series, if you're new here and you have not heard of the Timeless series by Gabriel Meyer, just let's pause it. Let's pause it right here. Okay. I love fantasy and sci-fi, right? And thrillers. Your girl is not a fantasy. Your girl is not a romance girl, and I do read historical fiction from time to time as a palate cleanser. But let me tell you, Timeless is literally for everybody. I'm not. Now, I've heard people that thought it was really good, and then there are those readers like myself and everybody in the chat that's like, it's amazing. But I haven't heard anybody say it was literally the worst. Like, I haven't heard people say it was 1 star, 2 star. I could be wrong by that. There could be some readers who don't find it. But if you are into Christian fiction and you want a little bit of time, there's a little bit of magical realism. There is legacy family things that I love in it. There is romance, but the faith, though, the faith in Jesus, the faith, so good. It literally spans across the ages. It goes across the ages. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Jamie says, I cried more in book 2. I would agree. Book 2, out of all the books I've read, book 2 still holds a very, very special place in my heart. So I definitely agree with you, Jamie. I cried in all of them, like hands down, gush tears. But the one that is closest to me that I still think about over and over is In This Moment, which is book 2. I think, right? Is it In This Moment? Yeah, I think that's book 2. Richie says, Gabriel Meyer is such a unique writer. She really is. Truly, the Lord has anointed her pen. Book 1 got me sobbing too. Yeah, book 1. Oh. Book 1 took me out, man. Okay, so book 1, and Amanda had talked about it on her channel when she was in the chat. She was like wrecked. And I was like, okay, I'm going to check it out. And I was invested. But I'm going to tell you, when I got to the end of book 1, and like when the twist happened, there was a couple of twists, but when the twist of the twist happened, when I tell you, it was over, baby. Like, I was shocked to tears. So that first time reading that, it shocked me to tears because it was so shocking. And I just felt so happy and so just like, that's how you write a story. I'm up here talking and testifying of Timeless Trilogy. Come on, chat. I loved it so much. And then I was like, okay, I'm here. Then I got into book 2, and then it went real deep. And then we get to For a Lifetime, deep. It was so good. It was so good. Lindsay said, listen, I cried in all her books. Terry says, I'm the odd man out here. It was meant for me. Only read first book. Yeah, and that's cool. Like, did you give it like 3 stars or something? Yeah, I mean, I think Oshina read it, and it was kind of meh for her too, but I could be wrong about that. So let me not say that, but I know there have been some people that it was mad for them, right? It wasn't like, it didn't have that emotional impact for them. But you know, for me, it was just such a good time. All the yeses in the chat. Jamie says, Lindsay, you're right. I have heard a couple people say they didn't like it. Yeah, there have been a people who said they didn't like it. It was mad for them and it was predictable. Yeah, it was just mad and so predictable. Girl, you are a genius, because book one, I didn't see none of that coming. Tammy's in the genius in the chat. Girl, you a genius. Yeah, the twist had me sobbing. I was over, sobbing. Okay, Winter's Maidens. Do we even need y'all? Winter's Maiden was so good. I still think about it. It is, I feel like, Morgan Bussey's best work that she's written. And I read a lot of Morgan Bussey this year. And so she wrote the Ravenwood Saga. She wrote the Secrets in the Mist duology. I'm sure that's not the name of the series, but that's the first book in the series. And Winter's Maiden. So I read like 4 of her books. And you would think I would have like author burnout, right? You would think that. Like, I was kind of nervous about it. But when I got to that book, and I did a vlog on it and everything, you could check it out. It totally surprised me. It was what I was looking for. So whereas like Secrets in the Mist, like that one was like a middle grade, younger YA audience. Cry of the Raven was kind of like for the YA. I feel like Winter's Maiden is for the adult. I feel like she wrote that. Granted, the character is 18, 19 years old, but she wrote it for an adult. Like, I feel like I was the intended audience. The faith is fantastic. The young woman is a survivor. The magic, the other character, it's just so good. I'm going to reread it. I'm about to reread it. Geekarella was turkey. I'm actually going to put Geekarella back here. It wasn't as bad as the Brothers Hawthorne. Let me not say that. It was better than The Crown. Let's move that. It was cute. It was a retelling of Cinderella. I liked it. It was fun. The content was, some language. There's one of her friends. It's implied that she has a sapphic attraction or same-sex attraction. She has a same-sex attraction. One of her friends to somebody else, not to the main girl. And it does have like this nerdy thing to it. So yeah, I really liked it. Goodbye, Stacey's Goodbye. Oh man, that was a good one. I really liked Goodbye, Stacey Goodbye. I really liked that one. Yeah, I liked Goodbye, Stacey Goodbye. That was really sad. Yeah. Obviously, Stacey saying goodbye. I really liked it. The Truth About Stacey. Again, I thought it was okay. Yeah, I thought it was okay. The Truth About Stacey definitely is, deals with her condition, her sickness, and everything like that. I thought it was good. I think it was a good story to read. Heart of Red, Blood of Blue. Ooh, this was good. This was good. Heart of Red was good, y'all. Heart of Red, Blood of Blue, Christian standalone. When the twist twisted, it was good. The last 75%, I always say this backwards. The last 25% of that book was outer space. So good. Up until that point, I was like, okay, this could be 3 stars. This could be a good time. I really like what everyone was saying about the book. I recognize I do have high expectations with fantasy. So I really try to tempt that back. I really try not to like put so much expectation on these kinds of stories, because I don't want to be disappointed, right? And I don't want to like say, give maybe a harsher opinion. Not that my opinion means a hill of beans, but share. I want it to be at least as fair to the reading experience, right? but I will say the last 25% took it to the 5-star level. At that point, up until that point, it was definitely 3-star, 4-star. But when it took that last 25%, I was like, okay, I see why this went to the 5-star level, because it did for me. So I really enjoyed it. I recommend it. The air is pickled quail egg. I'm sorry, but the air is pickled quail egg. I'm sorry. The chat will catch up in a little bit, and you'll see. I'm just gonna take a drink of water. But the air is pickled quail egg. I'm sorry. Actually, I have these backwards. So this is actually supposed to be the worst. So let's put this here like this. It's actually supposed to be like that. Like the worst are at the back. Okay, the worst are at the back. Yeah. So we actually going to move her back here is what we're going to do. I'm sorry, but the air is just so bad. 5 Total Strangers didn't help the situation either. I didn't like that one either. I did read it. Oh, my bad. I did read 5 Total Strangers. Is a YA thriller. I'm trying to find some YA thrillers that I enjoy, but this is secular. So it's about 5 strangers get lost in a vehicle. The girl shouldn't have gotten in the car with them anyway. That was the first mistake. You didn't follow instructions. Your mama told you not to get in the car with them. Your mama told you to wait and catch a flight the next time. You want to be disobedient. And then she gets herself in a pickle. Then what causes her to be all upset? I'm sorry, I'm spoiling the book for y'all. Do you care? Nobody cares. It's pickled quail egg. I didn't like it. I actually... Ooh, I didn't like it. The Heiress, I don't think that's pork chop. I had a good time with it. By Rachel Hawkins. It's, it was definitely one of those thrillers that, rich people problems is kind of told from the point of view of the person that has already died, and how the family got to that point. I thought it was a good time. It wasn't terrible. The language and actually the content wasn't that bad, aside from, the psychological aspects to it. Land of Silence. Come on. I haven't read Land of Silence. Actually, that's reserved for stuff I read all the time. Man, Land of Silence, y'all. Ooh, Land of Silence. Land of Silence took me out. This is one of Teresa's favorite books of all time. Man, it's biblical fiction about the woman with the issue of blood. It's just fantastic. Fantastic. It's Not Summer Without You. Okay, so this is book 2. In the Summer I Turned Pretty. It was good, y'all. It was good. I liked it. I liked the family drama. I liked it. Just Secret. Okay, so Just a Secret Language. I really like this one. This is probably Jess is one of the junior babysitter club members, and one of the kids that she babysits is deaf, and she learns sign language, and then how she inspires a community to do that. It was just such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful story, a beautiful message. Definitely one of my favorites that I read. Kevin Kwan, Lies and Weddings. Y'all, this was crazy. Lies and Weddings was crazy. It's not for everybody. The language is crazy. The content is wild. I have a vlog on it. I think I vlogged a few thrillers, new release thrillers. I think I did a vlog for it. It was fun. Took me a while to do, but I had a lot of fun with it. Yeah, Kevin Kwan. I really like his books. Rich People Problems, or is it Crazy Rich Asians? That's it. Crazy Rich Asians is one of my favorite contemporary series. I feel like I need to reread it again. It was really good, and the content was pretty good too. I mean, it wasn't crazy, but this one, Lies and Weddings, was pretty crazy. Lies and Weddings was pretty crazy. I ain't gonna hold you. It's pretty crazy, but I had fun with it. I had fun. King's Scrolls, man, this is gonna go up here. I really, really liked it. Yeah. I really, really liked it. Yeah, it's up there with Fellowship of the Ring. The King Scrolls, which is book 2 in the Ilion Chronicles, Resistance being book 1, but the King Scrolls was top tier. Like, it really, like, she lays such a strong foundation. J.L. Knight, the author of Ilion, has such a strong foundation with that series, with the start of it. And King Scrolls, man, so good. The faith, the family, I highly recommend it. It's non-magical fantasy, so you don't have to feel intimidated by the magic system. And it's kind of based on Daniel and the Lion's Den. In what's another allegory? There's a couple of allegories in it that you can kind of pick up through it. But it is grimy dark. I like books like that have that grimy dark aspect to it. But how refreshing to read a Christian book that's so grounded, a Christian fantasy fiction book, right? That's so grounded in the faith, in faith, not in the faith, but in faith, right? It has so many beautiful faith elements to it. So many true, it's just, my words are failing me. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. The Knife of Never Letting Go. Oh man, I did not like this one. I was really let down by The Knife of Never Letting Go. I think I gave it 2 stars. It's supposed to be highly lauded in mainstream fantasy, sci-fi, dystopian. I didn't like it. I was super, super disappointed. My buddy read it with Julie. She was super disappointed. We were disappointed together. It was too long and I didn't understand it. And there were parts where like it was really good and then it would just blow up and it would be bad. And then it would get good and then it'd be bad. Like Olaf. I am sad. I am crying. I am happy. I am sad. Like it was like that. It was like that. It was like that. Yeah, thank you guys for hanging out. So the chat, Heart of Red is on the TBR. Say so. I wish Belliston would write another fantasy, says Jamie. Yeah, I wish she would too. She really has the net. She's a really beautiful writer. She really is. The air is so bad, says Amanda. Girl, air was terrible. Terrible. Land of Silence broke us all down. Tears in the chat. Tears in the chat. Laura says, Babysitters Club, Jessie is my favorite character from that series. Is she? She's mine too. I love her. Yeah, and yes, she's a pretty little brown girl, but she's very spunky. And she's very tender when it comes to the kids. I really like that. King Scrolls, Chrissy, I'm going to be reading book 3 early 2025. Girl, yes. Yes. Jamie says, I read Rachel Hawkins' book, The Wife Upstairs. It was a Jane Eyre retelling with a thriller bent. It was good, but more secular than I would want to read these days. Yeah. Again, I'm with you on that. I don't know if I want to read as much secular now. And I heard that The Wife Upstairs was really good, but I kind of like to read the classic first and then see it, but I don't know if I even would want to, you know what I mean? But I definitely understand that. Some of the Ilion books are way more allegorical than others. Yeah. Jamie, have you finished the whole series? Let us know. We're getting down to the end, you guys. We'll Always Have Summer by Jenny Han. So this is book 3 in the Semi-Term Pretty. And yeah, I liked it. I had a good time with it. Again, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Definitely a coming of age. And it's just a precious time. The content was good in it. It's just a really sweet, sweet series. And the drama. By the time I got to the end of the series, I was like, I don't know. By the time I got to book 3, I was like, yeah, I don't know who Bella is supposed to get with. Because it was giving love triangle. And I didn't know who she was going to get with. But I liked who she ended up with. I'll just say that. Christy and the Snobs. Again, I thought this was okay. I don't really remember it that much. So yeah, I can put it there. I like Christy's Big Day better. So yeah, I kind of put it there. Christy's Walking Disaster. Yeah, so this is the latest book in it. I like that one too. I guess, yeah, that was good. It was good. It was fun. The Last Murder at the End of the World, Stuart Turton. Oh, y'all. This was burnt in for me. This was burnt in for me. Yeah, this was Fish in a Tree. You too far back. You too far back, Fish in a Tree. But it feels good right there. It feels good right there. Actually, feels good right there. Um, Fish in a Tree is very important. I really, really love that book. Yeah, The Last Murder at the End of the World by Stuart Turton. This is latest released. I had a great time with it. It's probably not for everyone, but again, Stuart Turton just has a way of telling certain stories and his mysteries. And this was I loved how it unfolded. I did a spoiler-free and a spoiler discussion talking about this book, and it is wild. And if you got a paper plate and if you got a plastic cup, then you already know. Paper plates in the chat. Paper plates in the chat. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. Lindsay says Stu took us out with that one. Girl, he did. He did us wrong for that one. He did us wrong for that one. Yeah. Richie says, has anyone read The Story Peddler? I've heard of that. That is on my TBR. I've heard it's very good. I feel like, let us know if, that's a great question, Richie. Anybody's read it, let us know what you think about it. That is on my TBR. Hopefully I can get to it, but I got to get like a copy of it or from my library or something like that. Jamie says, I read the original Babysitters Club as a kid. Me too. I loved it. I loved it so much. Okay, so Jamie, you've read all the Ilion books except some of the novellas. I did have to space the series out because they're heavy. Yeah, they're very heavy. They're very heavy. Yeah, I don't know when I'll pick up the third one. But it's so good. Paper Plates 100. Laura says, Last Murder at the End of the World was wild. I want to read 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. Yeah. Oh, Laura, I didn't know you read that one. We're getting close to the end, you guys. Taliesin. Oh, so Taliesin by Stephen Lawhead. Oh, so good. I really, really enjoyed this one. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Taliesin is an Arthurian retelling. Kind of deals more with kind of maybe the true history, perhaps, of the Arthurian legend. And it also deals with another element that I don't want to spoil because it's very interesting. It's a very interesting story element. And I really, really liked it. I'm looking forward to continuing the series soon. The Pendragon cycle is so good. I had so much fun. The Love Audit. Now, this is literally the only romance, like rom-com, like romance on the tier ranking. You probably can see my taste, right? The Love Audit, everybody. Lindsay, I did that for you. We're coming up on some of the romance books I read, and clearly they're going to be the books I did for my dear friends and sisters, right? The Love Audit. Anna Conwell is, Anna Conwell be having the community in the chokehold. I'm not even going to hold you. Like, it has Lindsay in the chokehold, but I see Anna Conwell having everybody in the chokehold, and it gives me so much joy. So I'm so glad I was able to read it. It's incredibly sweet. I like the fact that it was more character driven, and the character arcs were very fleshed out. It was very realistic, very grounded, even though it was very funny. It was enemies to lovers, okay, office romance, which did remind me of me and Mr. Librarian because we were enemies to lovers, okay? That's a story for another day, okay? Because I couldn't stand him. But, look at the Lord, love, true love. So yeah, The Love Audit. I would say that's actually Bacon. I would say it's Bacon. Yeah, I would say it was really good. I really liked it. I really liked it a lot. I liked it. Yeah, I liked it. It's moving up there. It's moving up there. Yeah, I really liked The Love Audit. It was a good time. It was a good time. Oh, Mary. Okay. Yeah, I didn't like this one. I didn't like this one. Yeah, I'm gonna put that Babysitters Club book way in the back. That's probably my least favorite. Mary Ann's Bad Luck. Was it Mystery? I didn't like that one. I gave it 2 stars. And I think it's because there's like it's the Halloween book. You know, as you're reading through these, it makes sense they're going to do the seasonal books, right? But they could have did a Christmas one. Why didn't you do a Christmas one? Let me move. Why didn't you do a Thanksgiving one? Let me move. But they did a Halloween type fall one, which okay, cool. I was okay with that, you know, it being a mystery. But how they went about solving the mystery was very disturbing for me, especially if you have a biblical worldview, right? Christ-centric worldview, you know, so the kids were using charms and trying to use a spell, and there was like this chain letter, and they were doing all of these different things. And I think that's just something to keep an eye out for parents, right? So, you know, in reading the Babysitters Club, I don't remember reading this, but it was so long ago. Maybe it was there. But just to keep an eye out on that one. I was very concerned about that one. I don't know if you want your little ones to read that one because it was very heavy-handed with those kinds of things. So I didn't particularly care for that. Merchant. Oh man. Merchant. Yeah. Merchant. Laura, I pray for you. I pray for y'all. Merchant. Chuck Black. I don't have any words to say. I don't have any words to say. Speaking of Chuck Black, Reclamation. My list is so long, so I got to drag it up. Again, it's so good, y'all. Like Chuck Black is sitting next to Robin Hobb. It's so good. I would even say it's a bit better. That's my total. I'm sticking with it. Merchant was fantastic. Fantastic. Stay With Me by Becky Wade. Becky Wade in the chat. Yeah, I really enjoyed Becky Wade. This was a beautiful, beautiful story. I feel like it had definitely more of a beautiful message. And I really like the message in this one. I really like the message in it. Yeah, I really like the message in this one. And like how I actually liked it. Now that I think about it, I liked it a lot. Yeah, I can't say I would read more Becky Wade because again, it's not like mine, but I read it for Amanda's birthday. Becky Wade is like one of Amanda's favorite authors. So yeah, I really, really enjoyed Stay With Me. It was definitely more of a heavy read. I love the fact that it dealt with a young woman who was dealing with addiction, but she still believes in Jesus. She's in her faith, and she was in the middle of her process of healing and restoration and deliverance. And that's such a, I don't know, that actually might be some burnt in actually on that one. Yeah, I like that. I can't say I like it more than the Chuck Black books. But it's definitely up there. Yeah, Becky Wade. I give it 5 stars. It was fantastic. I'm so glad I read it. It was really, really good. Ruth Ware, One Perfect Couple. I mean, it was okay. I mean, yeah. I mean, it was okay. You know, I can't be better than Babysitters Club. I'm not even gonna put it like that. It was Turkey. And yeah, The Crown still, I'm sorry, I can't put it ahead of The Crown. No, for language sake, I would say it was probably worse. Yeah. Ruth Ware, it was good. I gave it 3 stars. It was one of her better ones. Yeah, it was one of her better ones. Was it better than Geekarella to me? No. Brothers Hawthorne. Yeah, it was better than Brothers. Brothers Hawthorne was pretty bad, y'all. So yeah, I'd say it was pretty good. One Perfect Couple was pretty good. The One, oh man, this was so good, y'all. Yeah, The One was good. I can't say it's a burnt in, but it definitely was up there. It definitely was up there. The One was just so good. It ended the first 3 books in the selection series so beautifully. It was so beautiful. Uni and the Unicorn. I mean, come on. It's a Chrissy meat buffet. We love Uni and the Unicorn. It's fantastic. Beautifully illustrated as well. Shatter Me. Oh, man. If T is still in the chat, say, hey, girl. T and Sky, the three of us read this together. And I would say it's kind of, yeah, it's pork chop. It's not ribs. It's right. Was it better than Ignite? This is kind of a hard one. I'm going to say it was a rib because I really liked how angsty and YA was. Let me rephrase that. I really liked how beautiful the writing was. It was very lyrical writing, and I like lyrical writing. I like purple prose, right? Especially with the YA characters. But then somewhere, like literally when the main character opens the window, she goes out the door. Honey child, the plot, the angst, all the good stuff about the book went on out the door too. She just yeeted it all out the door, and then I don't know where the story went, and it kind of ruined it for me. So I'm not going to continue the series, because if it's going to continue like that, I don't want no parts of it. But the first half of it was so good. Like, it was setting me up for such a beautiful, like, girl who don't know her destiny. And then it ended up being like an X-Men overlay. Let me move. Unknown Threat. Okay, I really like this actually. This was a good time. Yeah, I actually liked it a bit more. Yeah, I liked Unknown Threat. I liked it a lot. This is a romantic suspense. I usually enjoy thrillers like Christian, like, well, obviously thrillers, but this is like a Christian romantic suspense. And Jane and Amanda and Caitlin did a readathon this year, like romantic suspense. I think that was the name of the readathon. But check me if I'm wrong in the chat. Let me know what the name of that readathon was. But yeah, they were reading romantic suspense books that month. And so I was very curious to see their thoughts about some of the newer books. And Jeanette, she loves romantic suspense. So does Amanda and Caitlin. Like, all three of them really, really enjoy them. So I was kind of like, maybe I should check them out. Maybe I should see if there's something there that I could enjoy, but romance ain't really my big. And so Unknown Threat was good. I liked it. I'm very curious about the other characters. Like, the side characters were a little more interesting to me. The only thing about it is, like, they were supposed to be like helping and saving people. And she was like, oh my God, he's so fine. She was thinking about his cologne and stuff when people are dying. So for me, it was a little hard to suspend my belief in those moments. It was just a little hard for me. So I won't say it was like, okay, it's kind of like that. But that's a Chrissy thing, because I'm not, it's not my type of, like, I like my romance to be portrayed in a different way. Like it, differently in a book. And, again, I'm not the intended audience. I'm just out here trying to see if there's an author that I could really, enjoy. But I had a good time. It surprised me more than I expected. Stacy's Mistake. I had fun with this one. This was a good time. I don't remember what it's about, but it's fun. The Nightmare Virus. Ooh, y'all, this was good. Is it burnt in though? Yeah. Yeah. I had fun with the Nightmare Virus. It didn't really hit for everybody. It is Nadine's latest work. It's like a sci-fi dystopian. It's for the nerds. It's super duper for the nerds. And I think that if you really are into sci-fi, I think you might enjoy it. And if you're into like RPGs and things like that, video games, and into certain fandoms, I think you're going to enjoy it. The faith in it was really good. It was very refreshing. I love the fact that her allegory for Christ wasn't an allegory of Christ. It was like Christ is on page. Like, Christ is Christ in this world. Everybody knows who Jesus Christ is. He's not like, there's not a he's not represented symbolically. I like that. I like that a lot. It was really good. Shadow by Kara Swanson. This is book 2 in the Heirs of Neverland. And yeah, I thought it was good. Yeah, I thought it was, I didn't like it that much. It was good. Yeah, I liked it better. I like Dust better. I feel like maybe Dust could have been a standalone. There were some twists and turns in the second book of The Heirs of Neverland, or Shadow. But again, it could have been that. So yeah, we're getting down to the end. Just a few more books. Secrets in the Mist. Yeah, so I would say, yeah, these are kind of right on par with each other. Like I was saying before, this is book 1 in the Secrets in the. I don't think that's the name of it. Secrets of the Mist. I can say, oh yeah, the Secrets of the Mist. Like, that's not the name of the series. I can't think of the name of the series. But yeah, that's it. So let's see. We have. So that was good. Powerless. In the chat, where y'all think Powerless? Where does Powerless sit for you on the meat tier ranking? Let me wait for the chat to catch up. Where does Powerless sit on the meat tier ranking for you if you've read it? I haven't talked that much about Powerless on my channel. I hope to talk about it in the months to come, especially in 2025. Powerless though. Bacon for Powerless, says Jamie. Okay. I'm still thinking about mine right now. Okay. Amanda says bacon too. Okay. Have you guys read the second book? Ooh, Lindsay said burnt in for Powerless. Ooh, bacon for Bethany. Oh man. Bacon. Here's the thing. I really had a lot of fun with it. It had like, it's not, let me actually put it in my ranking. Sorry, y'all. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with Powerless. I had a lot of fun with it. It was a lot of fun. It probably was the most fun I had with the YA book this year. So yeah, I'm actually gonna put it. Can't go ahead of Mind Games or Taliesin. I'm gonna actually put it right here. Ooh, can't go ahead of that one. You know, I'm gonna put it right here. I'm gonna put it right here. I think that's a solid entry for Bacon. Yeah. Bacon, yeah. Powerless was really good. It's definitely on the higher end. And I would say it was probably the best YA book I read this year. And I read quite a few based on the ranking. I really enjoyed it. It was angsty, it was adventurous, it was girl who don't know her destiny, twists and turns, and it just has such great elements. But I have the second book. I'm trying to manage my expectations because I've heard some very interesting things about the second book. The chat says close to burnt ends, but powerful. Burnt ends. Oh, Bethany, you said powerful is burnt in. I can't give it I can't, for me, not quite a burnt end. Like it has to do something a little extra for that for me, I think. Jamie says yes, book 2 would be a bit lower, definitely a middle book. Okay. So Lindsay says, see, I'm opposite. Bethany, I'm opposite, and powerful is, oh, okay. Sorry. I don't know the titles. My bad. Okay. Bethany, you said powerful is burnt in. So you actually enjoyed book 2 a lot more than book 1. Lindsay enjoyed book 1, which is powerless. Not so much book 2. Now I'm sorry. These are the novellas. Y'all got me I'm all confused. Y'all keep the chat going. Y'all doing a great job. Thank you, Lindsay. Yeah, Powerful is a novella. I didn't read Powerful. I'm not really a novella girly. So I'm just gonna stick with Reckless and see where it goes. The Summer I Turned Pretty. Yeah. Oh, so good. Yeah, The Summer I Turned Pretty was so good. Like the three of these books actually progressively, they actually are they're actually kind of right here, y'all. They're actually right there. They're actually a little higher. I really, really like them. We're gonna move The Summer I Turned Pretty up because I really liked it. I really liked that series. I did. I liked it a lot. Yeah, Summer I Turned Pretty was good. Royal Blood. Royal Blood was good. I think I'm gonna give that. I liked it better than ASAP. This is like a contemporary YA drama. It was a bit long. I was expecting the twists and turns to be a little more twisty, a little more turny. I think book 2 is coming out next year, or if it's not out already. It's about a young girl who is the illegitimate daughter of the king. It kind of gives a little bit of low key, like maybe some of this could be true. I don't know. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. And we're at the final book, you guys. Assassin's Fate. You already know. Assassin's Fate, y'all. You know, Assassin's Fate. I want to put it at Brazilian Meat Buffet. I'm actually gonna put it at the Brazilian Meat Buffet. It's up there. Yeah, Assassin's Fate is up there. Yeah. Assassin's Fate is up there. But you know what? Brazilian Meat Buffet is for repeat books. So, but Burnt End had to be Assassin's Fate. If you came in late to the chat, I did a whole extensive 15-20 minute discussion on Assassin's Fate, which is the final book in the realm of the Elderlings and the final book in the Fool and the Fits and the Fool trilogy by Robin Hobb. And I'm still mourning it. I'm still rejoicing in that series. It's just amazing. It's just amazing, y'all. And that is the tier ranking. Oh my goodness. Hand claps in the chat. Hand claps in the chat. Y'all hung in here for 107 books. Hand claps in the chat, everybody. Yay! For the tier ranking. Yay for the tier ranking. It was such a great reading year, you guys. Like, seriously, I really, really had a great time reading through the series and just really enjoying my time reading. And it was just, what can I say? What can I say, y'all? I just thank the Lord. I thank the Lord. Yeah, it was a great reading year. Hand claps in the chat. Hand claps in the chat. Hand claps in the chat. Yeah, it was such an amazing reading year, y'all. And I feel so good about this ranking too. And also, I'm definitely going to make sure I save this ranking. So let me do that now. Let me do that now. So I'm not going to be mad that I missed it. Okay. Because last year I was mad. Ranking my favorite books from 2024. Because we need to save it. Okay. We need to save. And we need to download. Okay. Let's make sure we do that. Because when I tell you, I came into this thing and I was like, oh my gosh, I got to tier rank all the other books I read earlier this year. I don't even remember. So it's more accurate, I guess, now. It appears you've already, I'll figure that out later. I'll figure that part out later. Move from studio. What an interesting mix of books you read this year. Love this. Thank you so much. Welcome. Large mix of books across the board. Yeah, don't lose it. Love the mix. Yeah, it was so good. Yeah, this was just such a wonderful time, you guys. And I just really, really, really just appreciate all of you hanging out in the chat and just all of your support, this year. It truly has been an amazing year. And I thank the Lord for it. I thank the Lord for each of you. I thank him for bringing you into this space, and allowing us all to really get to know each other. This year was a crazy year for the channel. I am going to be ending the live soon, so don't worry. We're gonna be wrapping up here because it's about 9:30, and I just want to pass those sentiments on, and I just thank the Lord for everything that He has done, and for His faithfulness. Like when He had really kind of pressed upon my heart to really like lock into the channel this year, and to really seek Him about what to do, and really trust Him with that. It was definitely a learning process. A lot of things I'm continuing to surrender, as well. But before I go, we're gonna have our prayer. So if there are any prayers that you have in your heart, feel free to leave them in the chat. And then I'm going to definitely send off my year blessing. This is actually going to be my last appearance. I'm going on a holiday sabbatical, y'all. And I'm glad about it. I have one of my goals this year for the channel was to show up every week. That was a goal the Lord put before me, and by His grace, He gave me the strength to do it. It was literally impossible, given a lot of things that I have gone on in my personal life, good, bad, work, all the things. We all adults, we got taxes and stuff. Life is life. But to really lock in and to follow Him and to trust Him each month about content, about what to do, about all the different things, about when to step up, when to step back. It was such a challenge. And I feel like I grew so much. And I just want to thank all of you for being here, and for just, opening your heart and your home to me. And I don't take it for granted. All the gifts, all the laughter, the encouragement, our community is growing so fast and in such a way. The Lord is truly moving among us. And so yeah, the goal was to have weekly uploads, to show up every week. And I had to really release to the Lord what that looked like. Because sometimes that was a video, sometimes that was a reading sprint, sometimes it was a live stream, sometimes that was a read with me, sometimes it was just, it showed up however it showed up. And I really had to trust the Lord in that. So many times I felt like, man, no one's doing this. I feel so alone. Oh my gosh, I'm just out here by faith. But let me tell you, when you walk on the water, the Lord is there, and He's the one that's getting the glory, and He's the one that has the reins of this. So continue to pray for me as I steward this platform. I'm going to take a break, y'all. I'll be back in January. Sometime in January, I'll be back. But honey child, we got plenty of content. So if you miss me, you just watch a few of them videos, huh? We got all kinds of lives, blogs, we got it all. Okay. So there's plenty of content. Love you. Great reading year, Chrissy. Everyone have a blessed and Merry Christmas. I'm off to put the bird to bed. Sweet dreams. Thank you, Tammy, for being here. Thank you, girl. It was great having you in the chat tonight. Jamie says, I love Christian BookTube, Bookstagram community. I have enjoyed getting to. Thank you, Jamie. You have been such a staple here. Thank you for all your support, girl. Thank you. Prayer request for my new godson. Oh, amen. Absolutely. Merry Christmas. Have a great break. I'm going to enjoy mine. Good night. Yes. So love that. So I'm going to pray us out, and then I'm going to give a prayer blessing over you as well. So Father God, I just thank you for this time of fellowship, Lord God. I just thank you that you are good, Lord. You are so faithful to us, God. You Your loving kindness is to the generations, oh God. You are so good, Lord. You are good to the unthankful and the evil, oh God. I thank you, God, that you have saved and delivered us, oh God. You have made us into who you have want us to be, God. You are making us into who you want us to be, oh God. Your faithfulness, oh God, your loving kindness towards us, oh God. So I just lift up every family represented this evening, oh God. I lift up Laura's godson, oh God. Thank you for the new life, oh God. Thank you for the families that are being made, oh God. Thank you for the provisions, oh God, within our souls, within our hearts, oh God, and within our tables, oh God. Thank you for the laughter and the joy, oh God, because it's the joy that the world cannot take from us, Lord Jesus. It is your joy, oh God, for you said you'd be with us even to the end of the age, oh God, even as all the things that are happening in the world that we're seeing in our communities, oh God, that we are even maybe seeing in our families, oh God. We just know, God, we believe and we stand on your word that you are with us, Lord Jesus, that your grace has gone before us, oh God, that you are our rear guard, oh Lord. So we just lift up and we surrender right now in this moment, all the things that we are carrying, oh God, we surrender it to you, God. I just thank you for this channel. I thank you for this platform, oh God. I thank you for how you've used every single person, oh God, that has come to this channel, oh God, that has left a note of encouragement, that has encouraged me, that has sent a gift, a comment, God. Bless them, oh God. Bless them indeed, for they have partnered with you, oh God, to do your work. Bless them indeed, oh God, for everything that they have need of, God. I thank you for meeting and providing their needs, Lord. I thank you for this time. In your name, amen, 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 amen. So I'm going to give you guys this blessing, okay? And so before I go, may the Lord grant you an abundance of hope. I love you guys so much. Ooh, I wasn't going to cry. I was not going to cry, but I'm just so thankful. And I give God all glory for what he is doing in our community and what he's doing in our lives. All glory to the Lord. I am so humbled. I am so humbled. Whew. Y'all, because I'm just a sinner saved by grace, y'all. I am just a sinner saved by grace. Whew. Running this race of faith. Whew. I thank the Lord. May the Lord grant you an abundance of hope. May he strengthen your resolve in him through Jesus Christ. May his purpose be fulfilled in you and your families to do his good will in the earth. May his peace fortify and comfort you. May the Lord grant your every petition. May he bless and keep you. Yes, may he bless you indeed. I love you. 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 I love you guys. Thank you for being here, for all of your support. I'm going to be back in January. Sometime in January. But I'll be in the chat. Okay? I'll be in the chat a little bit. In and out. I'll be in the chat. I'll be in the chat. Lindsay says, may the Lord continue to shine upon you, sister, and bring you rest and restoration going into next year. Thank you for all you've done. Thank you for all you've done for us through your channel and friendship. I love you. Thank you so much. It is an honor, and I am humbled. I love you all. Good night, good night, good night. Good night, good night, good night.